What's up, my cronies, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Fox. We're going to continue on with the easy path today and finish it up and defeat Andross. And we're going to continue on now with the Battle Base Meteor. After some sage advice from General Pepper. I almost said Sergeant Pepper. It's kind of tough getting the Beatles album and the character mixed up. But as you saw, he said something along the lines of, "Don't mess up my R-Wings." And the way the story for this game goes is something along the lines of the R-Wing, the ship that Fox and his crewmates fly, is a relatively new prototype ship, which is brand new, like I said. And Andross invades, and Pepper did not have enough time to train up the people required to fly them, so he had no choice but to hire the Star Fox mercenary team. So that's why we're on our mission, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. And also, apparently, Andross had something to do with the disappearance of Fox's father, something about sending him to a black hole or something like that. The same black hole that's on the map screen, which we'll see later, like I said in the first video. So I hope you're enjoying the Let's Play so far. I'm definitely having a good time making it, and playing this game, because this is a great game. So we're just going to keep going. See quite a few new enemy types on this level, and I mean, aside from finally being another level that's on land as opposed to just open space, it's not too remarkable. Except for these walking weird things, some helicopter looking things, and some tank things. Most of which shoot balls of plasma at you. See, there's one right there. And another one. It's funny how you can kind of see the attacks before you see what actually sent the attacks. So you can kind of get into position to shoot whatever it was that shot at you. And hopefully dodge the powerful plasma blast, because I think that is, if not the strongest enemy attack, one of the strongest enemy attacks of the game. I mean, I guess aside from straight up crashing into stuff, I don't know. The plasma balls are pretty powerful. I don't know which. I guess I just kind of picked this one, and I either chose right because the other one was empty, or I chose wrong because the other had something else and I was already full on bombs. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. There's more helicopter looking things that surprisingly don't shoot plasma at you, just normal lasers. Ah, and here's the boss of the level. The Dancing Insector. It's a pretty straightforward boss, but it does take a little bit of time to defeat. And as you can see, it was shooting plasma at me there again. It's kind of the theme of the level, I guess. So as you saw, I just kind of shot the legs until it does this thing. It flies up in the air and helicopters around. And it can be annoying because as you see, it kind of comes towards the screen a little bit. Sometimes it will go from low to high while doing that. So there's really nothing you can do about it, and you get hit no matter what. I guess I got lucky there. Now the second time you put it into this state, you'll see the legs turn red, and you can now shoot them and destroy them. Which is how you defeat the boss, really. See, I got hit right there. Not really much, well, I assume there was a little something I could do, but I got hit. Here's the boss's main attack, I guess. It kind of shoots fire at you. Shoots fire at the ground, which I guess bounces at you or something. I don't know. He shoots a beam of fire at you. And plasma balls. So now, the last leg is destroyed, which means you can now shoot the actual ship, which isn't so much like an insect now that all its legs are gone. It's not really dancing so much as spinning. But it's dead, so it doesn't really matter. And that's, ironically, once you beat the boss, more rocks start appearing. It's funny, it's like the game knew or something. Alright, yet another stage down. I think that's Venom off in the distance that you can see in the sky. And another 100%, which will net me another continue, because I'm now over I guess that's 30,000. So I guess it's 100 points per percent. I think in the last video I said 1,000 points per percent. I guess I was wrong. Or maybe I was right and just totally messed up my numbers. Some college student I am, huh? And now we're heading to Venom, the final planet, and it's actually composed of 2 levels. One kind of in outer space, the other on the actual surface of the planet. And of course, being in outer space, they start you off in first-person mode. Now, compared to all the levels that we've seen previously, this level has quite a bit going on, like a lot of enemies that pop up on the screen and generally stuff to shoot almost all the time. Not too much stuff to dodge because a lot of the enemies are these things which kind of just pop up and shoot. But a few things shoot back, like this thing, which is also a new enemy. It's not that hard to take out. And yet another new enemy that kind of was obscured by the spinning 4-legged thing. We'll see more of those. Oh, there's one right there. See, it kind of phases in and is invisible. And then when it finally appears, then you can shoot it. If it doesn't shoot at you first. It's not that big of a deal. And then I think another new enemy that kind of just died, but it just shoots a barrage of lasers. Now this enemy that I just wasted immediately, if you did not have the strongest level of lasers, it would have given me a laser upgrade for killing it. And at this point I am really glad there's no friendly fire in the game because I just shot Falco about 10 times or so. It's kind of annoying after you save them or whatever. They try to help out, but just end up getting in the way, really. But whatever, at least you can't kill them, even though you may want to. Now Peppy needs to be saved, and now he's probably going to do the same thing. Flying right in my way. Yep, there he goes. Just trying to kill the enemies and get 100% on this level, so I don't have a performance like the asteroid level. But now Peppy's done helping. And we're at the boss already. This was a fairly short level. A constant barrage of enemies and stuff. But this is Fantron, who is an interesting boss. Probably the most interesting boss of all of easy mode. As you can see, he's almost dead, but when he's almost dead, he splits into 3. And of course, only one of them is the real one. And when he's down to just 1 again, he goes back into 3. And he does regain a little bit of health at that point. I just now noticed. And he's dead. And the level's over. Well, half over if you consider all of Venom to be 1 level. I guess not, because it is a separate stage. Half of Venom is finished, rather. Now it's time for the thrilling conclusion, the final level of easy mode. And we got 100%. Yeah, that is 48,000. So it is 100 per percent. I know I did not mess up my numbers this time. So we fly down towards the surface of the planet. It's time to go. We got a kind of a terrifying looking background. All stormy and ominous looking. And this level is mostly about the obstacles that you encounter. As you can see, the level just kind of builds itself as you fly through it. And there's a few enemies to shoot, yeah, but for the most part, you just need to dodge stuff. Peppy getting in the way yet again. Don't you just love your wingmates? Now these obstacles, you saw 1 or 2 of them at the beginning of the level, but basically they work pretty easily. Whichever way they're pointing is the direction they will open up and block. So if they're facing a way you don't want them to open up, just shoot them. And they'll go the other way. Fairly simple. I don't see why Andross would want to build his secret hideout base or whatever on Venom. I mean, look at it. It's a mess. Just walk down the street or something and something will pop up and try to crush you. But I mean, I guess it kind of would be a good place for a secret base, because I guess it is far away from Corneria, so you wouldn't have to worry about the army or whatever coming after you. And honestly, who would disturb you here? I mean, even the name sounds threatening. Venom. Would you want to go to a place called Venom? I don't think so. I mean, well, I personally wouldn't, but I mean, you might, but hey, that's me and that's you, so we'll agree to disagree, I guess. Like I said, just pillars raining down from the sky. At least we're at the checkpoint. Not only pillars raining from the sky, stuff coming in from the side, stuff trying to fall on you. This place is a mess. There's another laser upgrade, which we definitely do not need, and definitely do not want to try to get, because we'd end up hurting ourselves. And now, the return of Phantron, who I guess we didn't straight up kill. But he starts off like he did, like he finished his last battle, splits off into 3, one of them's real. This time he dies rather easily. But as you can probably tell by the fact that he hasn't exploded yet and is still flying around trying to kill us, that the fight isn't over. That's right, this boss has a second form. And it may look cool and have that ominous music playing when he gets bigger and all that, but he's not that hard of a fight. He is kind of an annoying fight though, because as you can see, he kind of jumps away, and when he jumps away one more time, he can't be hit because he's so far, but it really just adds to the length of the fight. As you can see, he's not even half dead yet. And you can't just wail on him like you can other bosses. You have to, like, wait for him to finish his getting hurt animation or whatever. That attack, very simple to dodge, just kind of fly out the way. It's easy. And of course, like his other form, when he's almost dead, he splits into 3. Except now he's back to 1. But whatever. I think if you miss, it'll reflect your shots and they'll come back at you as lasers. As you can see, he's also firing missiles and stuff. But he's dead now. And once again, ironically, as soon as you finish killing the boss, the base is right there. It's almost as if the game knew. We're finally going to the big showdown with Andross. At least what I think is Andross. It's kind of weird. You'll see. Now Andross kind of talks some smack to you, telling you, oh, you're pretty good, but I'm still gonna kill you. We got a section kind of like the ones in the Space Armada level. You have to fly through the hallway dodging stuff, except I suck at dodging stuff. Hopefully I don't have to explain wing repair in this video. Good. And apparently Andross is a big fan of Earthbound. Or LSD. Or both. Because just look at that background. Here's the final boss of the game. Or at least the final boss of easy mode. The strategy for this is basically just shoot the eyes. When he does this, you cannot shoot bombs into his mouth like you can in Star Fox 64. But I don't even know if you have to use your brakes. I just usually do, just to be safe. This attack may look like it's difficult to dodge, but it's actually quite simple. Just keep moving around and you'll never get hit. Once it's down to one eye, you don't even really have to worry about getting hit with the rectangle that comes out of his remaining eye, because just shooting at his eye in general will kill the rectangle. Well, not kill it, but split it off into 2 to where none of the pieces can hit you. And just a few more shots should do it. Ah yes, here we go. So once the face is dead, it kind of splits apart, and a die with Andross's face on all 6 sides kind of pops up. Shoot that a little bit, and the boss is dead, and you've beaten the game. Congratulations. But like I said, there's 3 difficulty settings, so we're really only 1/3 of the way done. That was the easiest of the 3. It's probably the most boring of the 3 too. It kind of picks up and the levels become a little more interesting in the remaining paths you can take. Triumphant music plays and Fox flies away into the sunset. Of course, everyone congratulates him and says, oh yeah, we're with you, even though they were nowhere to be found during that last fight. Some teammates, huh? They just get in your way and Stay away when you actually may need them. But whatever. So now the long flight back to Corneria. At least you don't actually have to control them flying back. That would be a boring 30 minutes of no real enemies and just flying. Also, it looks like there's just open space underneath that little segment of planet that they showed. I know it's probably the particle effect of whatever coming at you, but still, it looks weird. And now you can see your total scores for all the levels. All my 100% except for stage 2, which is still terrible. Oh, it looks like I only managed a 96% on the last level. I think killing the final boss should automatically net you 100%, huh? I think so. Total score 58,400, whatever, not like it really matters. Unless this was the competition version of the cartridge that they only made like a couple hundred of or a couple thousand of or something. Some kind of Nintendo high score challenge or something with this game when it came out. I don't know too many of the details about it, but I do know that.
Congratulations on a job well done.
Roger. I'm heading back to Corneria.
Sorry, I was distracted by the voices. And I guess you couldn't really hear Fox's first line, but you can hear that in future playthroughs. But what was I saying? Oh, well, first let me explain what this is right here. They kind of show you all the bosses, and it's pretty cool because it gives you like the name and their main attack, and also the dimensions, which is not something you really like see. I mean, imagine if in the Metal Gear Solid games or whatever, it shows you like Psycho Mantis and like his waist size and like how tall he is and whatever. That'd be kind of weird. But there was some kind of competition cartridge that Nintendo put out that was really limited, and there was some kind of like you take pictures of your screen when you get high scores and send it in. You can win like posters and shirts or whatever. And those are very, very rare and run for quite a bit of money, unlike the actual Star Fox cartridge, which only runs you, I think, somewhere around 15 bucks if you want to get a copy. But we're talking thousands and thousands for the competition one. There's our old buddy, the dancing insector. And really, this is the only reason why I know what the names of all these bosses are. It's because I looked at this. Haha. It says Fantron's weapon is the laser, but I mean, you'd think like the main weapon would be like illusion or trickery or splitting into 3 or something like that. That's really the main draw of the whole fight. And once again, this boss, it still says lasers, but it shoots so much more than lasers at you. It's like lasers, missiles, illusion. That's a lot of lasers it was shooting. And finally, our old buddy, Andross. Yeah, look at him. Andross with ellipses, so you know he's hardcore. So apparently telekinesis is a synonym for shooting rectangles out of your eyes. Anyway, that does it for the easy playthrough. And now all that's left is the credits, which I will save for another time, because they're boring. So anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.